Why people wrestle with self-pity without realizing it. Part 1. Why people stay stuck in self-pity and how to break it. Part 2. Today's video is on Part 1. Why people wrestle with self-pity without even realizing it. Self-pity is not just sadness, not just discouragement, but a subtle emotional and spiritual trap that drains faith, poisons identity, and clouds our view of God. And the truth is, self-pity doesn't feel evil. It feels comforting, like emotional sugar. But there is a way out, not willpower. It's truth, spiritual authority, and emotional honesty before God. Understanding self-pity at a spiritual level. Self-pity is sadness turned inward, but in spiritual terms, it becomes something deeper. 1. Self-pity is a distortion of identity. It tells you, you are forgotten. God is unfair. Your story is stuck. Your suffering is pointless. Self-pity paints you as the victim of life rather than a co-heir with Christ. Romans chapter 8 verse 17 KJV. 2. Self-pity is a subtle attack on God's character. Because underneath the "why me" is an unspoken belief that God did not protect me. God overlooked me. God blessed others and not me. Self-pity quietly whispers accusations against the goodness of God. 3. Self-pity is emotional paralysis disguised as comfort. It feels safe because it excuses you from taking action. With self-pity, you don't have to hope. With self-pity, you don't have to try. You don't have to risk disappointment again. But the cost is incredible. Self-pity blocks spiritual growth and suffocates purpose. Examples of self-pity from the Bible. 1. Elijah, 1 Kings chapter 19 KJV. He says, "I am the only one left." But God responds not with judgment, but with truth, nourishment, rest, and presence. This reveals something crucial. Self-pity often appears after spiritual exhaustion, not spiritual rebellion. 2. Jonah, Jonah chapter 4 KJV. Jonah's self-pity made him miss God's heart. It blinded him to God's mercy, made him angry at grace, and shrank his world to his own emotions. In God's presence, the fog lifted. 4. The Israelites witnessed miracles yet still said, "We were better off in Egypt." Self-pity makes bondage look like comfort and freedom look like risk. Why do people really fall into self-pity? 1. Unprocessed pain. Self-pity is sometimes a cry from wounds that are never acknowledged. 2. Emotional fatigue. When the soul is tired, perspective collapses. 3. Hidden belief systems. When you believe that you are always overlooked, or that good things don't happen to you. When you believe that people will leave. These internal narratives feed self-pity. 4. Isolation. The enemy thrives in isolation. 5. Feeling disappointed with God. The unspoken, unadmitted pain. Many believers have prayers that didn't turn out the way they hoped, and instead of talking to God, they turned inward. Now that you understand self-pity, subscribe and on your notification button to look out for the upcoming video on why people stay stuck in self-pity and how to break it. Part 2. Subscribe and share with your friends. Remember to on your notification button.